Welcome to the Sam and Ray podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Ray.
Hey, Raymond Andrew, how are you this morning?
Irritated.
I know, that's why. Yes. Let's walk through this. What's going on?
Nothing's going on. I'm just irritated.
Nothing specific?
No, it's just one of those days where things just don't fucking fit right for some reason.
But also, should we just put it out there? You're not a morning person either.
No,
so.
I'm not a morning person.
So the irritation plus not a morning person is just an explosion of tude and just anger.
Not anger, just like get it together. Fuck.
I'm like, he's all irritated. I'm like, don't make eye contact.
So this is what happens when you don't go to the gym after a while and you just spiral down a fucking just getting fat. And now my arms fucking hurt and I can't even do like the fucking simplest things.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere and it's gonna hurt.
But the fucked up part is I haven't even, like, your first question today when you're like, what's wrong? And I told you, it really irritated me. Not because you asked the question, but just more so because the answer was as honest as I could be. And it was this, like, a realization of, fuck, you're out of fucking shape. Because you asked, well, did you go like super hard at the gym? I was like, hell no, I didn't even go hard at the gym. So if I didn't go hard at the gym and this is how hard, like how bad it fucking hurts, this is fucking horrible right now. I can't like.
I feel like you saying no, you didn't go hard at the gym and you're sore. I feel like you did more than you should have when you're starting back.
No.
You don't think so?
No, maybe for me now at 36 years old, yes.
Yeah,
but
you know what? If I could have gone, if I could see in my mind what actually went on at that gym, and I'd be like, "That's where you fucked up. You went too hard."
Honestly, you would have been like, "I don't know what the fuck you did," because I didn't even break a sweat, and it takes a lot for me to break a sweat, anyways. But I didn't. It's just my body's just not fucking used to it.
You know what? Hey, listen, we're getting older. We're getting out there. I'm going to be honest with you. Every time it gets cold, my shoulder hurts. It hurts me.
I don't know.
I got to pee when it's cold.
I don't know if you
happens.
experience soreness. Because I'm like...
not really.
So it's just like everything fucking is aggravating. Voices, sounds, like the slightest fucking movements, anything just in general, just like... The fucking motorcycle that just passed, like, bro, you don't need your fucking bike to be that loud. And honestly, his bike isn't even fucking that loud.
No, I think that sometimes you just need to maybe do some yoga. Unwind. See, you're so negative. And then you always say, you're so negative, you need to change your mindset.
I'm not negative. I don't like doing that, and I'm not going to do it. Why would I do it?
Because you need to.
No, I don't.
You need to unwind. You're uptight.
I'm not uptight. Any other time we've had any type of conversation, I'm not uptight. You can't tell me what I got to do.
Okay, so then just tell yourself. Tell yourself then, like, hey, maybe I need to do something to, I don't know, take up knitting.
I'm not going to take up knitting. It just fucking hurts. It just sucks. It's the realization of realizing you're getting fucking old and you don't recover the way you used to when you were younger. That's all it is. It plays mind games. You go through it all the fucking time with this shit. So
yeah, I do.
Now you're just like loathing and making me look like an idiot right now.
Well, I mean, you're making yourself look like that. Anywho's, shut the fuck up. No. What was we going to talk about? I can't remember now. I have jury duty coming up, and I kind of don't want to go. Do they really arrest people if they don't go or they don't show up?
I don't know. I don't go to my jury duties, and I'm still
How many
here.
times have you skipped?
Oh, all of them.
Okay, so then I'm good.
Like I've missed jury duties, and then to the point where they actually like pink slip me. Like they'll actually end up sending me a pink slip.
Okay, and then after the pink slip, did you ever show up again or no? Or were you just waiting to be handcuffed at your house?
No, I do. But then when I go, like, they don't even choose me or anything. So I just honestly, like, I get the reasoning behind it. But to be honest, like, for everyday people in today's society in California, you're wasting my fucking time.
Yeah, you're wasting our time. I think, honestly, a jury duty should just be a job. Like, I'm a professional juror, because some people fucking love that shit. Like, I like to watch on YouTube, like I've said before, I like to watch the trials and things, but it helps me to fall asleep. So if you pick me as a juror, just know I'm gonna fall asleep in there because that's what I'm used to listening to.
It's just a waste of fucking time.
It really is.
Like if you have to, the way I see it, if you have to fucking go to court, you're fucking guilty. There's no, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
maybe if we did our job right the first time from actually like arresting the right people, we wouldn't have to worry about fucking taking shit to a jury. Like, just fucking do your job right. Like, no offense to anybody that has like police officers in their fucking family or anything like that. But why don't you just stop wrongfully accusing people and fucking arresting them for shit that they're not fucking doing? And then we all have to go to fucking jury duty and figure out whether or not this person was guilty or not. Isn't that why you investigate shit?
That's very true. It's like there's all this evidence, but you know what? Let's get a jury in here.
Let's go get
your
some
DNA is there. There's a picture of you. You admitted it on camera.
Let's just go get fucking regular Joe Schmo to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Miss Gonzalez, what do you, like, bro, I don't know. I can't even figure out what I want to do after this. Like, what I'm going to get for lunch. I can't decide. You want me to decide this man's fate? And just the way he's looking at me, yeah, he's guilty.
I don't know, but talking about that, remember I sent you that post earlier from Twitter where it says a Texas man previously exonerated in fatal stabbing he did not commit has now been arrested for the deadly shooting in a road rage incident.
Okay, and I told you my theory on this. Anytime someone is going to court or is on trial for something they supposedly, air quote, did not commit, and then they are let go, but deep down they know they did it. God knows they did it. They eventually will find themselves back in court for something just as bad.
And not even just to say that
because they're meant to be
like
there.
No, well, air quote, they didn't do it. Maybe they didn't do it, but your mentality puts you in that predicament for someone to accuse you of fucking doing it in the first place. So that same mentality you have outside, and you figured, well, I didn't do that, but you still have that same fucking mentality, and you did something stupider. So now you're fucking going back, like you said. Now you're back into where you
should have been.
In the first place.
Because, like, okay, example, fucking O.J. Simpson. You know that motherfucker did it. He got out, whatever, free man. What does he do? He goes and commits. What does he do? He goes to steal back all his memorabilia. What does he do? Beat up the person. And he ends up back in jail or back in court. The guy who shot Trayvon Martin, they told him, don't go after him. Don't go after him. And then he shot him, right? This man ended up back in court and in jail, I think now, because he pulled a gun on his then wife. This guy, he fucking probably did it. The first thing he was exonerated for. Now he's back in jail because he fucking probably did it. They just didn't have enough evidence. The list can go on and on. Bobbitt, the guy who got his penis bit off by his wife, he was not he wasn't found guilty in beating his wife. But how many more times was he taken to court because of his new wives or his other girlfriend saying he beat the shit out of me? So there's just so much evidence. Okay. Just there's my piece to that. You'll find your fucking self back in there.
I don't know. To me, you got to start doing the job right from the beginning. You can't sit there and be like, I get the whole guilty until proven innocent shit, but to what extent are we gonna let the wrong people fucking give this person the guilty or not guilty fucking judgment? Like, we're not gonna.
Yeah, I don't think, like you said, I don't think regular Joes should be just on this panel. I honestly, like I said before, it should be a job, but it should be something like, hey, you got to know, like, the law, some type of law, some type of something.
But I think too, there ends up being people that, they fucking, like, to what you were saying earlier, like, oh, I fucking love doing this. Like, they probably end up watching fucking Law and Order or all that shit, and then they try to distinguish something themselves. Kind of like, I mean, you do the same thing. You watch all these fucking, which is fun. It's ironic you don't like going to jury duty, but
No,
you'll
because
watch.
I get to watch it. I get to watch the trial in my own home.
But what my point is,
pause it to take a shit.
but what my point is to say that we end up concluding something in our own head. We start developing these situations in our own head. Maybe this and that, right? Now you have a fucking panel of how many fucking jurors all doing the same fucking thing. And there's always going to be that one person that thinks that they know more than the other person. Yeah. Well, and what if we look at this evidence? Like you didn't make it to fucking law school, but being in jury duty is the closest thing for you. So now you're taking it too fucking
that's
far.
That's where you need to just get people. How many is it? 9, 12?
I don't know.
I've
never
make
stayed
sure
long
they
enough.
have some kind of law background. Be like, hey, you're going to be a professional juror. Okay.
I don't know. It's just
I feel like.
But see, there's.
Oh, hey, yeah.
But everybody. But I think the flaw in that is everybody gets tired of their fucking job at some point, right? Everybody ends up making poor decisions as that time goes by, where you're over your job, right?
This.
So then I can see why they would do that also.
That's
but
true.
At the end of the day, it's just like just do.
But then we could say that about lawyers.
Everybody. Well, no, because lawyers have more motive than anybody, and they get paid by the fucking hour in a sense, or however their fucking wages. They're the ones benefiting. Because who do you know would defend someone who's guilty and they know they're fucking guilty? A person that's making enough money to fucking do it.
I was like, every lawyer out there who's ever helped somebody get off.
That was my point.
I was like, wait. No, don't stupid. This is why I don't deserve to be a juror.
That was exactly my point.
That is my point. So if anybody who is a judge out there, be like, stop sending her these requests to show up.
And for me, like, I think the one time I did get picked, I made it to the courtroom, and in the courtroom, they go through the process of going through each juror, and they ask they give you an option like why, like do you want to stay, and why should we not allow you to stay? And I think one of that case ended up being like a domestic violence situation. And anyone who knows me knows I don't fuck with men fucking putting their hands on women, right? So it's just like, nah, you're fucking guilty automatically, bro. Like, you put yourself in that position to put your hands on a woman, you're fucking guilty. And if it's not gonna be the legal system that's gonna take care of you, someone's gonna fucking take care of you. And depending on the evidence that they bring forth, and if I'm sitting here, I might be that dude that's on the fucking news that jumped a fucking barrier to go fucking knock your ass out for fucking putting your hands on a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true.
So when the judge asks, like, hey, why are you not why do you feel like you're not a fit for this case? It's like, I'm biased. Anyone that puts their hands on a woman in any type of form that's not pleasurable, like,
nice and sensual.
That's like,
yeah, Your Honor, I think we're good. We don't need you. Thank you so much, juror number 5.
Yeah, you're fucking guilty,
you
bro.
can go.
I don't know. But there is that stage. If I'm correct, I don't know if they still do it because, like I said, I haven't gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the one time that I did go, it just pissed me off because I drove all the way to fucking San Bernardino just to fucking sit there, and I waited the longest. Right, like our whole group was the fucking last group, just for our last group to be told, we don't need you guys. Like, you could have just told us first.
Yeah.
I fucking sat here for 2 hours for you to tell me that I wasn't going to be used.
See, and sitting there, because I've gone.
And you don't
I've
get
gone.
paid for that. You don't get paid unless you get chosen. So it's like, I could have fucking did something else with my time other than fucking sit here for 2 hours to not get chosen, bro.
God, I hate jury duty. I hate it. I don't even want to call. This is what.
And it's funny because everyone has a system. Like, well, if you call at this time or if you wait till this time, like, to be honest, I don't think that's how it fucking works. I think that's just everybody's fucking
idea.
idea.
I waited till midnight to call. You're like, fuck. It says yes, I have to go.
Like, it's like, man, you're either going to
the system knows what you're doing.
You're either going to get chosen or you're not. It's
Lord.
It's like lottery.
God, please don't let me get chosen. I'm going to take my anxiety pills with me and be like, I need these.
At least you don't have to go all the way to fucking San Bernardino.
I don't. You're right.
So.
Yeah, mine is like down the street, but I don't want to go.
Well, I don't know. For me, it's a waste of fucking time. You don't pay me enough to fucking take that, right? And most places, like most jobs, I think it's a versus thing where like they cover the portion that the fucking government can't cover for your
Okay.
jury duty. So, but I don't have a 9 to 5 fucking job like that. So, the longer I'm fucking sitting here, fucking twiddling my thumbs, I'm
I'm
not
not getting
making
paid.
anything.
Yeah.
So,
No.
you're not gonna pay me enough, bro. Like, you're not gonna get me to. Fuck you. Like, you're just to be a fucking dick. I'd be like, everyone's innocent, even if you're guilty. Get the fuck out.
Like,
of
I
here.
ain't got time for this shit. I really don't.
Be like fucking Gotham City when the Joker releases everybody. Like, fuck that shit.
Yay. But you know what I wanted to talk about too was what we heard on Big Boy today, and whether or not nowadays college is important.
Oh yeah. We had.
I already know your stance on this.
Well, see, the irony in that is that we actually had a conversation with somebody that is close to us about that last night, and that was cool because, well, we were driving and I heard that. I looked over. Well, I didn't look over. I could feel you. You have like this, like, your presence is known when you're staring at somebody. So I'm like driving and I'm like, why the fuck are you staring at me?
Because I don't want you to say anything in front of the kids.
Well, no,
Just
but
let them make their own decision.
so that goes both ways.
No, my decision's right.
Because at the end of the day, it is their ultimate decision.
Mm-hmm.
But the same advice that I gave our friend last night was the fact that if it's not suited for what you want to do in your life, then don't fucking do it, because you're just wasting time at that point. If you don't know what you want to do, try it.
Yeah.
There's no harm in trying it, because maybe somewhere along the way it will trigger something, like you have mentioned before. Like, it will trigger something that you are interested in that can actually end up going towards your career. That doesn't necessarily mean, well, like, I already started this, so I have to finish it.
No, you don't. At all.
Like, you just have to figure, like, you need to, like, if you've gone like 3/4 of the way into your fucking school career, yeah, maybe finish it. But if you're just like in the, would you say, like, dipping the toe process?
Like, just dip your toe. If you're not sure you want to go to college, you're not sure what you want to do, why don't you just go take a class that you're interested in, and then see how it goes from there.
And if you're in that process, like if you're in that beginning stage of it, there's no harm in saying, or even acknowledging that something different sparked for you.
Yeah.
Like, in the process of doing this, something else fucking clicked, and you're like, I like this, but I'd rather be doing this and doing it that way.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking avenues in today's world for you to be more financial. And the biggest thing that they mentioned on Big Boy was the fact that
it's $25,000
a semester
a year
or a year, which is
for a 4-year university.
So you're paying $100,000. What 18, 19-year-old do you know has $100,000?
None.
What organizations do you know are paying out those type of school loans, or even just to say $100,000 in school loans in general, not grants, not fucking what's the other one? Financial aid, none of that shit. We're not even talking that, because financial aid is only going to give you probably like $10,000 out of all of that. So if that's the case, in order for you to start your career, and this is how I see it, in order for you to start your career, you're starting in debt.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're starting your life in debt.
Yeah. But
you're
like they say, you got to spend money to make money.
But you got to spend money the right way to make money. And one of the other examples that they brought up was how Dame Dash mentioned, like, look, if my daughter doesn't want to go to school and she knows what she wants to do, it would make more sense for me to help her start her business.
Yeah.
And in that 4 years that she'd be wasting collecting debt in college, we could be building her business, and in that 4th year, that business could end up being more successful than anything.
But that's easy for him to say. Or who's this? Who's Dame Dash?
He has money.
Okay, so it's easy for him to say, because he's like, oh well, I have some type of credit behind my name. I got the money, and I got the know-how, and I got this.
Not just that, but you also got to know.
You can't do that for everybody who doesn't have that.
But you have to acknowledge the fact that he didn't always have that. He wasn't born into money, and that's the thought process that perhaps you're not understanding. Where it's just like, he's built himself to that level to be able to do something for his children.
So what does he do?
He was a co-owner of Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z.
Oh, okay.
It's just like if he built himself to that, you can't fucking punish him for that. You can't tell, oh, well, it's easy for him. Well, it wasn't at some point, and he did it. So it's easy for him now, and it's gonna be convenient for his child. But even for our children, right? Like, clearly, I'm not no fucking millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at it, if our kid goes the route of 9 to 5, which is, there's no fucking issue with that, and going to school and going to college, there's no fucking issue with that. I have zero problems with them going that route. But I would rather them figure out what it is that they want to do and go that route. Meaning, you could find a field in your life that there's going to be school for that. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a mechanic, what the fuck do you need to know what James and the Giant Peach or fucking Moby Dick was about? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing, prerequisites and all that shit are fucking...
You know what? Yeah, I hate prerequisites. That was dumb to me. Like, oh, you need to take this class before this class. It's like, but you're just making me do more than what I need to do for what I want to do.
But you already understand what that was for, though. That was for them to collect more money.
Yes, and that's another thing. Someone mentioned it on TikTok, and it was like freaking PTSD for me. It was like, this person's going to go see their college counselor, and they're like, I'm sorry, who are you? They're like, after so many years, you should know who I am, and we had an appointment. Oh, yeah. But can you just remind me? And it's just like, what? So then they basically like don't know who this student is, even though they've been working with them for however long. They were the ones who planned out this whole college course plan, all this shit for them. And then they're like, oh my God, whoever made your schedule really fucked it up. And it's like, bitch, it was you. You made my schedule. You're the one who did this for me. And I was like, oh my God, that was me. And so then every time that I would go see my college counselor, and then even in the skit, the guy was like, you're always adding more classes saying that I needed this, but you told me I only needed this. And it was like exactly how mine was going. And it's just, they just find everything to keep you there, to keep your money.
Do you think
it's crazy?
Do you think that happens because they become somewhat robotic? Like them, like they're trained to do it a certain way. So every time they see you, it's just like, oh, okay, well, this is what you need. And then you go back, and because they're trained to do something a certain way, they do it that same way so many other fucking times that when they see what they've done in the past, they're like, oh, well, this emphasizes that you need this too. Yeah. Which is like, bro, like check your robot system or something, bro, because you're fucked.
And it's funny because there was, at the time I was going to Chaffey College, there was 2 counselors that I had seen. One, she made me wait the longest time. She saw me sitting in that fucking waiting room waiting for her. She made me wait, and she never had anybody before me. And then she finally was like, are you Samantha? And I'm looking at her like, bitch, I'm the only one in here. Yeah. So then she was like, no, I think you should become a communications major. Yeah. If you're going to go in for sign language, like she's telling me this. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I kind of want to get out of here. But the second one, she was like, I would tell her what the last one said. She was like, no, she's wrong. She's like, go ahead, put this application in. You should be out of here by this time. And you can go ahead and start applying to this school because it'll help you go into the route that you're looking for. And so it's just like, I think it's just like 2 different people that are trying, like,
there's too many.
Some people suck and some people want to help you.
The way that whole system works, I feel like there's too many fucking hands in the bag. And for no fucking reason, right? There's no... My perspective is there should be no one telling you what you're supposed to do with your life, in the sense of, well, you got to take this and you got to take that, and like, in which way is it beneficial to what I want to do? Yeah. Now, if you're going to school to become a teacher, a doctor, then do that. I'm pretty sure those are so fucking cookie cutter fucking modes that's already automatic. But then they start creating all these other fucking subjects in fucking what do they call them, majors, where it's just like they just create random ass shit and say this is what you need for that. You know, it's just like even at the shop, a guy was just like, I want a one fade with a taper, or I want a one fade and tapered. I was just like, so you want a fade or a taper? And it's like they're both a haircut. They're two different haircuts. They do look a lot fucking different. The way he explained, well, my last barber is like, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, barbers need to stop fucking making up fucking haircuts to make themselves look like they're more important than they really fucking are, and just give them a fucking haircut. Tell them what the haircut is, so that, because at the end of the day, if you did that great of a fucking of a job on his haircut, he wouldn't have to fucking go see somebody else to get a haircut.
Oh, that's true. Then like, why didn't you go back to him?
So why you get what I'm saying? So it's like, let me just keep making up these names and make it seem like I'm doing like a spectacular fucking job. Yet he's not. There's no retention. He's not sitting in your fucking chair again. Same thing when it comes to fucking school. Stop making up all these fucking subjects and majors that for what? It's not gonna work in the real world. It's not applicable to anything other than, hey, how about if we come up with this? We could probably come up with these many units and this course,
and then we can take them for as much money as we can.
You know what I mean? So it's just like it becomes redundant in that aspect, and that's why I always say, why would you do that? I'm not Dame Dash, but if I have the mindset to be able to set my son and my daughter up for success and be better than me, because I've lived it and I go through it every day, why not?
Yeah.
You don't have to be a millionaire, and it doesn't.
Well, I only say don't say anything about college blah blah, because Josh continues to say he wants to be a teacher, and unfortunately, to be a teacher, you do have to have a degree,
which is fine. But I think though too, he has to go through the experience of going through the school, and seeing
if he likes it or not.
I don't want to be a teacher if he doesn't want to be, and that right there is also okay. It's the same thing I used to tell you for how long, where you would beat yourself up over shit like that. Oh my God,
college was hard.
And I would always tell you, like, it doesn't matter who the fuck is who. Yeah. Like, it sounds like fucking Mr. Macho Man, but if I'm your husband and I'm not fucking complaining about what you're doing, no one else's fucking opinion matters.
Yeah, I think, college, it wasn't hard. I think I was just hard on myself.
I think at the end of the day, we all end up becoming hard on ourselves. Yeah. But mainly because of how the system is built. Because every time you get further, they're adding something to push you back down.
It's we've added something to the catalog.
So every time you're like, well, fuck, when am I going to finish? Or when am I going to do this or that? And you can't finish in a timely manner, or you won't, because they expect you to be there full time. Yeah. Which
it's not possible sometimes.
Which makes sense, right? Anytime, because the thing is, when you want to dedicate yourself to something, you have to dedicate yourself 100%, if not more, in order to be successful at it. However, given our society, the state we fucking live in, and economically how shit fucking works, not that many people are fortunate to go full time to fucking school
and not have to work
and not have to work and have any of those fucking nobody's fucking doing it with 100% dedication because they have other fucking situations. Like a lot of times, people will tell me now, like, oh, it must be nice, like you could just go to the shop and come and go whenever you want and not be here all the fucking time. And it's just like, it is nice. But there was a time when I wasn't able to fucking do that, where I had to fucking sit here. So do you not understand? Like, I think we had this discussion last night, even when it comes to like doing things at the stadium, and now how we had to like kind of protect the brand in the aspect of,
because everybody wants to get their piece.
Now everybody's like, oh, maybe we should jump in on this, or so let's befriend them, or let's do this and that. So
that's frustrating.
People don't understand like how much money was left on the fucking table before we got the opportunities that we had in order to do what we're doing now. That goes with everything. There's so much shit that gets left behind and risked in order to be able to do the must be nice type of fucking shit that people want to fucking do.
And not even just risked, but like fucking sacrificed. Like we didn't see like how you explained yesterday. You sacrifice time with us. We don't really see you while you guys are trying to build this thing where we didn't know where it was going to go. We had no idea.
Mm-mm.
I was home like, okay, well, go do your thing. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not going to ask what you're doing. I know that you're doing something that you like to do, but do we really know if this is going to pop off? Do we know that this is going to do something? And it was kind of like, okay, well, I can't make it to this today because I got to go do this for this. And it's just like, okay, so everybody, not just you, but everybody within your guys' circle have sacrificed a lot. Even talking to Ricky, she talked about what the stuff that she's had to sacrifice.
Oh yeah.
And it fucking sucks.
But at
The
end
people
of the
trying
day,
to jump in though don't fucking see that. They just see it as their opportunity now. But it's like, you guys weren't fucking there at the beginning. This is our shit. Why are you trying to weasel your way in here?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking annoying. That's like a fucking group project where all these people do the work, but then here comes that one fucking guy like, oh yeah, can you guys put my name on that? It's like, no.
I never thought about the group
No,
project thing.
I have not slept for weeks writing this shit, getting it just perfect.
But it goes to like the risk and sacrifice isn't just on us, right? Like again, it goes back to you saying like family time and like it wasn't just like, okay, let's leave the money on the table for us to do this, right? And let's do it so that they're okay with it and we're able to get further later.
Yeah.
But like I'm not just leaving money on the table from that end. I'm also taking time away from my actual fucking job, which in return that's more money than I'm fucking leaving on the table. So it's one of those things where people have to realize like, what do I want to fucking do?
Mm-hmm.
How much of it do I want to risk or sacrifice? There is no, in anything you do, whether you are independent or you work 9 to 5, there is no half-assing anything. And that's one of the biggest things that people have to understand. You can't half-ass what you want to do, or you can't half-ass the things you need to do for what you want to do. You have to get the needs taken care of first before you get to do what you want. And even it goes back to what we're saying about the school thing. If you need to take all these classes to become a doctor, take all the classes.
Please do, because
Right.
For a doctor, yes.
But if that's not your field, find what your field, like what is going to benefit you, right? Like if you want to be a barber, there's barber school. You don't need, like, granted, people think you learn how to cut hair in barber school. You don't. To be honest, I learned the most chemistry in barber school than I did ever whether I was in college or in high school. I learned chemistry and how things don't mix and how things should be mixed or what chemical shouldn't do what and what shouldn't touch the skin, shit like that. Like I learned that in barber school because through the state of California, they're more so about the cleanliness and safety of
Cleanliness and not whether, not if the cut is good.
Yeah, like the process of getting the actual haircut, that's on the job fucking training, right? Yeah. So whatever it is, like whatever your field is, figure out what schooling you need for that. Mm-hmm. I guess it's clear to say I'm pro school in the sense of being beneficial to you.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a mechanic, Moby Dick ain't gonna help you figure out how to fix fuel injectors or, you know what I mean? Like, there's no purpose in writing an essay for you to fix a car. Now, if you have to write reports and doing this and that, then as you get higher into the levels of employment that you're in, there might be times where you need to actually know these things. I don't think it's worth putting yourself through the debt just because that's what your end game is, because at the end of the day, you still have to start somewhere.
Yeah. And I was thinking about, like, I keep telling you, like, I want to go back to school. I want to go back to school. And I was even on the phone this weekend when we were at the birthday party. And we were all just talking, and I was on my phone, like, scrolling and seeing, like, okay, well, I want to go back to school. What can I go back to school for? And then I started thinking like, fuck, I am just so used to coming home and not having to write papers anymore. And then the money thing. And then I ended up finding myself. Remember we started talking about Feet Finder and fucking
why would
fans.
My question is,
OnlyFans.
why would you want to go to school? For what purpose? Is it just like for fun? Because there's no you're set in your career. You have the degrees that you have, and you could get into positions that you want to get into.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of going to school? There's always going to be a benefit, whether it's personal or professional.
I think it's more professional. I do want okay. I do have my bachelor's and I minored in communication. But now I'm thinking like, maybe I should get my bachelor's in communications or something, because I feel like it would be beneficial in my professional life. And yeah, it would just be beneficial. And it would probably help me to get more places than where I'm at now. See, I'm the type of person who is just like always, okay, well, what's next? I can't stay here forever. This isn't good enough. This isn't good enough. Even though I love it, I'm always kind of bringing myself down in like a professional sense.
You're not saying it's good enough or that it's not good enough because you want to do better. You're saying it because you're actually insulting yourself.
I am. I insult myself all the time. I am my biggest bully. Yes.
So listen to this perspective of it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What have we done?
You're willing to put yourself in debt because you can't just tell yourself that I'm okay.
Yeah.
Now, if that was your child,
I would totally tell them like, listen, you don't need to do that.
So you gotta
what you've done.
You gotta give yourself that perspective because at the end of the day, again, like we know how long it took you, right?
God, it took me forever.
And I say that because obviously, like we used to have that argument, or not so much the argument, but you would be pissed at times because once in a while you would throw that "must be nice" at me too.
Yeah.
But not realizing, like, look, if I wouldn't have jumped ship and just went straight to fucking barber school the way I did, there's a lot of the fucking opportunities that we have that we wouldn't have had if I was just working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And that goes also too with the sacrifice. Excuse me. The sacrifice, like, I don't think you realize how much I missed being with my son.
Yeah.
In those times.
It was always just me and Josh.
And even to the point where, like, when it was me and him because you were at work, I was so fucking out of it and fatigued and tired from everything that I had to do that I wasn't, like, I was physically there, but I wasn't mentally or emotionally there for my son.
Mm-mm.
So those are the sacrifices that people don't fucking realize. Yeah. And that's the thing where it's just like, look, there's so much more than, when it comes for us, I guess, there's so much more than just a feeling for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because you're putting yourself down, but in all that self-doubt that you're giving yourself, you're not realizing how much you're going to have to sacrifice again.
Yeah.
With the kids, with
yes.
money.
Actually, you know what? You're right, because while you're saying that about Josh, I remembered that I had even told my friend Kathy and Nancy, like, I am a different parent with Kara, and I regret how I parented Josh when he was little, because I was always go, go, go. Let's finish school. I got to work. And then I always felt like my time with him would be like not focused with him on him 100%, because I was always having to write a paper, having to do this project, having to, so you're right. Cause now I think about it, and I think we even talked about it yesterday with Ricky too, because she's like, she regrets things from her past. And just like, we have mom guilt, you know what I mean?
It's all timing.
Yeah. But I actually feel like I've actually kind of slowed down and I'm taking it in more, especially with Kara. And that's where I feel like I failed Josh, because I'm taking it in more with Kara, and I was like, oh, she's so little still. And like, it's like I'm seeing it in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm seeing her in slow motion, and I'm taking it day by day. Where with Josh, it was just like, it was just sped up. And it was just like, hurry the fuck up. Like, let's get this shit done.
I think with that though too is, there's communication that needs to be had, not just like between you and I, but also like us and our children.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you have to explain it to them, like, and this notion of people assuming that kids don't understand, or they shouldn't know, or it's
they
not
wouldn't understand,
or it's not their place to know. Like, you know what? Maybe if you open that communication at a younger age, as they get older, they do understand. Not just understand for their own mental well-being, but also just for the thought process of understanding how hard it is and how much dedication you have to have in life to fucking get to where you want to get to. Back to the whole schooling shit. Do you want to dedicate this much time to go in a route that doesn't benefit you? Or do you want to dedicate that time to go towards a route that's going to benefit you and help you get where you want to be financially? Because, again, you saying that you didn't, you felt like everything was rushed with Joshua, right? Mm-hmm. And then me saying that I didn't get to spend the time with him that I wanted to spend, that I spent with Kara. Like, once Kara was born, I spent more time with her than you did in her baby stages. Everything we did, right?
I know, yeah.
But the thing that I always emphasize with Josh when I do have like a serious sit down with him is like, look, listen, you're my first kid, and this everything that you and I go through is a first time on many fucking levels. Mm-hmm. The first time you go through puberty, the first time you go through a heartbreak, the first time you go through this or that, like, everything's going to be a first time for us, right? We can't beat ourselves up for it because Kara's going to get the better version of us.
Yeah.
That's not her fault. That's not his fault. That's just what it is. But you have to open up that communication with him and let him know, look, because I went this route with you and I'm not going that route with her, that doesn't mean I don't love you as much as I love her. Yeah. That just means, you know what? I'm fucking human, and I approached this in a way that I fucked up too. I didn't do it the right way. Yeah. But you're learning the way I'm learning as a child and as a parent. We're both fucking learning. Yeah. And he's not a dumb kid, so you have to be able to, like...
You just tell him straightforward.
That's what... Well, I mean, me personally, and a lot of people probably don't like that shit, and that's fine, but at the end of the day, that's just who I am. Yeah. I'm going to tell him exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. If I'm telling you I need to be somewhere at a certain time, get your ass up and let's get the fuck moving. Only because, and mainly because when you get into the real world, they don't care who your grandma is. They don't care who your mom is. They don't care about your aunts and your uncles, and who they want their fucking shit done. Yeah. Get up and get it done. These are the things that you have to teach these children at a young age so that they become successful and they know what it takes to be successful. You can't just sit there and baby them all the time because you feel bad. Mm-hmm. Because then what you're going to end up doing is your guilt is going to end up enabling them to being as successful as they can be because you feel bad. Yeah. That's a totally different type of fucking risk in that regard too, you know?
Yeah. I'm just thinking, my brain's just all over the place now.
But you just got to ask yourself that though. Like, for you, is it worth going back to school? And you have to look at the picture.
The full picture, as a financial, as a family, as a time.
Because then too, and the way I look at it, right? Uh-huh. And don't take it the wrong way.
Oh, man. I'm going to take it the wrong
way. But everybody knows at this point what our goal is. Everyone that's close to us knows what our fucking goal is. Right? Yeah. Is that going to get us closer to our goal?
No. If anything, it's gonna keep us back
by a lot.
by a lot.
And given the numbers that were displayed as an example today on the radio station,
Yeah.
like that's not a small fucking number.
No, it's not.
That's a number big enough to like be like, you know what, this is never gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
And these are the things that we gotta like put in perspective. Like for me, that's why, as much as I fucking love shoes, it's like fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not buying these fucking shoes. So if I pay $200-$300 every so often in a month just for like, and I can't
For Jordans.
and I can't even tax write that shit. Like,
No.
like, you know what? It don't make sense for me to have a fucking a wall of shoes, but not a fucking wall for my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's very true.
like I got all these shoes. Look at all these shoes on my
Yeah.
wall. Like it's not even my wall that these shoes are fucking sitting on. That don't make any fucking sense.
No. And it just, that doesn't make any sense.
So it's just that's just
Yeah.
it's one of those things, man. You gotta weigh your options and be smart
Well,
about it.
I mean, I still do have that urge to go back.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
sir.
it. And the thing you got to tie yourself to is there's nothing wrong with doing it at any age.
No, and there's nothing wrong with it. And the thing is, though, is like we told our friend last night, dip your toe. Because I don't know that I fully want to go back. There's an urge that I do. But then who's to say that once I do, I'm too tired. I don't want to do it.
For us, that's an expensive urge.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, so
That's
here's
a hell
the
of
thing,
a dip
though.
of a toe.
So like, okay, the whole college thing. If you go to a 4-year university, it's going to be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you don't know what you want to do, why are you going to these universities when you could just like, hey, I'm going to go to my community college and see what the fuck I'm going to do?
Because you have counselors telling these kids this, right?
No.
And I think the older they get, not the counselors, but so the further they get into their education, the more money hungry the education system is.
Yeah.
So like you're not gonna get nothing out of a public school.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that work in public schools probably care a little bit more about guiding these children into the right direction in order to get to where they got to get to start their fucking careers. To where once you get into the college system, perhaps it's just a money ploy. These people working for the fucking school are trying to make sure that the pockets of the school are fucking fed in order for them to keep their fucking job. So every time you go into that office and they want to keep upping something and you got to take this to take that and this to take that, and then next year you got to keep doing that same fucking thing over and over. That's just, it's just a money thing at the end of the day, the higher you get into the education system. And again, you have to weigh your options and weigh them wisely, though. Yeah. Because there's going to be people who think that they know what they're talking about.
And that's not just people who are working for the school.
No, that's people
in your life.
Your family,
that
your
like,
friends.
oh, well, you, blah, blah. And that's what I always hated to talk about was, so how's college going? I'm like, please don't ask me. Please don't ask. When are you going to graduate? Do you know when you're going to graduate? No, I don't. Do you know what you want to do? No, I don't. I know I want to go to school. I don't know what I want to do after this. I know the things that I'm interested in, but there isn't like a set degree for all of those things that I'm interested in. You know,
there's not a set degree because there's so many fucking majors now.
And because there's just so many things that people are interested in. How do you just pick one?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we talked to our friend last night. She loves music. She loves this, but she also has a passion for art. And, you know, she's like, what do I do? You know, and it's just like, well, it's really up to you. And don't take, I mean, it's easier said than done, but you got to kind of not take everybody's opinion to heart and not listen to everybody like, hey, you should do this because, business, you should go into business because business is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
don't do that.
I'm gonna tell you now, business is probably the biggest thing that you can have, to be honest. But this whole notion of go to school to become someone in business,
yeah,
that shit's old school, bro.
And
it doesn't fucking work that way. A lot of people that have their own businesses don't even have anything but probably a fucking community college education because they figured out I don't need to go through all this because it's not 1980 fucking 3
yeah,
anymore.
I was gonna say like Wolf on Wall Street,
you know what
type
I mean?
shit.
Like that's just That's sales pitch shit. There's no more sales pitch
Mm-hmm.
shit. The boy business is nowadays. That's not what it is.
Mm-mm.
It's not just what sounds good or
Yeah.
what looks good. It's, is it fucking good?
Yeah.
Is the product actually fucking good?
Yeah, and it's so funny because, like, okay, so like you said, it's like 1980 whatever shit, and that's like pitches and marketing and all that stuff. I mean, there's still marketing, obviously, but I think I found at one of the colleges, one of the universities over here in California, actually has like a certification program for like social media and marketing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a certificate, and it's just that's where everything's going. So, like, I don't know how I explain how to like,
You might as well just do it on your own.
yeah,
Because they're not, all they're doing is certifying. That's like oh yeah, I could perform CPR, like, because you passed a CPR class.
yeah. No, see, I and
Have
that's,
you ever fucking performed CPR?
Okay.
I can't trust you
see
if you've never done
okay,
it.
I can tell you right now, I have a CPR certification. Do I trust myself? And that's so funny you brought it up because I have to get recertified. I do not trust myself to perform CPR on anybody. I have the certification, yeah. It looks good on paper, but can I fucking do it? Fucking, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. You're screwed if it's just me and nobody else. But like, fuck, am I supposed to lift their neck, check their airway? Am
You're
I
over here
supposed to put my
You're pumping the mouth and
I'm like,
blowing
oh
into
my
the
God,
chest.
what do I do? Like, what the fuck do I do? Do I give them compressions first and then once they're breathing, call 911, or do I call 911 first, or is that wasting time? So it's just not with just CPR, but with everything
Yeah.
it's always gonna be something. And when you go into school and you get a degree, not everybody ends up after school getting a job in which their
No,
degree
not
was
at
in.
all.
Not at
And
all.
even the people, so like even with barber school, right? Like there's so many people that fucking, maybe we'll end it with this, but there's so many fucking people that go to barber school,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they're fucking extravagant in barber school. And for the reasons that I just had mentioned earlier, there's more education to barber school about other things other than cutting hair. There's the chemistry,
Yeah.
there's the biology to it, there's knowing customer service. There's so many avenues in barber school that the state requires you to know, to where they don't give a fuck if you could actually perform a nice fade or a nice any type of style of fucking haircut, right? There's people that are out there doing this fucking job, and because they went to school and passed everything and did what they do, well, I'm a barber, so I know what I'm talking about. And you sit in their fucking chair and you leave, and you're so fucking unhappy with the result
Yeah.
because they didn't apply the right amount of time and actually perfecting the craft,
Yeah.
and giving the client what they want. But to that point, though, there's also people that don't really care too much about it, and some people want a really fucking good haircut. Some people want a really good experience. Sometimes you get both. Sometimes you only get one of the other. Where,
Yeah.
like me personally, I don't talk too much with a lot of my clients, mainly because there's a lot of fucking barbers in our shop, and it's just like a fucking just a sea of noise. So it's
Yeah,
just like
it
I'm not
is.
trying
It's
to
so
I'm not
noisy.
trying to fucking battle someone
Yeah.
in order for my client to hear what I want to talk to him about, right? So it's just like, if you catch me on a day when it's a little bit quieter, we'll have a conversation. If it's a fucking Saturday, I'm cutting your hair, I'm not gonna be a dick. We're gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Is that good? This is how you liked it? Should I
Yeah.
take a little bit more off? Let me know. Boom, and then get you out of there,
Yes.
right? But there's some people that their customer service is so fucking good. People don't give a fuck about how clean the fucking haircut is.
Mm-hmm.
The customer service is good. They made the person feel fucking good. It all depends on the fucking consumer. But that goes with everything. Whoever the consumer is in the field that you're in, if they're satisfied with subpar or excellence, it all depends, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to go to school. This is my opinion. I'm going to close off with that part. I don't think you need to go to school academically to become successful. Big Boy says it a lot, and it's ironic that we bring him up again, but it's tuition into the school of experience, meaning you live life and you learn
Mm-hmm.
and you apply that and you'll become successful.
Yeah.
That's my end cap on that.
I mean, to each their own.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, nobody's fucking wrong.
No, not at all.
Which
But don't beat yourself up though if the way you think things are gonna go don't go that way.
And that should be fitting for today's society, because everybody gets a fucking trophy, even though you don't deserve one.
Hey, but
the thought process of whether you should go to school or not go to school, the only way you're wrong is if you don't try.
Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah. Because you tried.
Mm-hmm.
At least you didn't say, "Hey, I'm not going at all because I don't want to." You actually tried. How many semesters did you go?
I don't even know. And it's not like I was dumb. I knew my shit.
No, yeah, you did.
I just don't. None of it was applicable to
what you wanted to do.
What I wanted to do. And it wasn't until my mom and even my barber were like, "Let's go to fucking barber school, fool."
Yeah. Because they could see that you weren't happy.
Yeah, he would cut my hair. You know, like women know?
Mm-hmm.
Barbers know.
Yeah, your barber knows everything.
The barber does know everything. I have more committed relationships with my clients than my clients do with their fucking relationships and women.
They're more open with you, huh?
Oh yeah. I've had some clients, like significant others, be like, "Come on, you gotta tell me." It's like, tell you what?
Yeah.
It's like doctor-patient confidentiality, homie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna risk it.
I'm gonna have to find a new barber, or I'm gonna have to find more customers because I can't be ratting my people out.
Right. That
was a good one. That was good.
We talked about nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Jury duty, college.
Me being fat and out of shape.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
Oh, shut up.
But shout out to all you guys. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Till the next time, homies.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Ray.
Peace.